boom, 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 boom. Okay. So just in case the last video doesn't completely go through, and I have to redo all this again, I just wanted to say a few more things before I got sidetracked and talking about booty calls. um, the worst thing about this healthcare forum that's taking place is the fact that this the exposure they are getting from this allow is shaped in such a way that even if I were to get up and make a comment, it would have no effect whatsoever. Because obviously you're speaking to an already converted, and you're speaking to a group of people who completely are against you. And so there's no way in that short time, me being one guy and being a black guy as well, could have said anything into that group of people that would have had any effect on changing their minds. And so you got the feeling that there was a consensus among everyone who was there because, like I said, it was all part of this tax party group. And then people are not really being very honest and saying that it's a public debate because it is open to the public, but still, the majority of the people who are showing up are not the public. The majority of people showing up are people of this this tax group, this I don't want to call them a fringe, I suppose, but this tax group who clearly have a biased opinion, and they don't really like black people. That's number one, and they don't like taxes, and they really don't like going against the Constitution of the United States, and so they really don't like Obama. So, and it's funny because I got some edgeway in with conversations with some people because I don't support the bill either. I wanted single payer health care. So we started, and I wasn't for the bailout. I didn't vote for Obama. So, like they kind of thought they could talk to me more because I didn't vote for Obama. I wasn't the opposite. I wasn't the anti-Republican. I wasn't a Democrat. So I wasn't. I told people I was an independent. I didn't say I was really far progressive left. I didn't say I was a Marxist or anything like that. I just said I was a independent. So they talked to me a little bit more, but it was oof. It was oof. Oh, man. Some people are brainwashed, man, and it's really sad because this is exactly what Chomsky talks about. This is exactly what I've been reading from. There was a guy I was watching a documentary. John Pilger. Pilger gave a speech recently. This is exactly what been I realized myself, which is that there's a great deal of anti-politics in America, which is everything is bad. All politics are bad. The government, everything is just bad. Government equals bad, right? And people really are upset at how the government is treating them, and so they can that anger and upsetness can be mobilized by the media, by public relations, by the media, to then bolster support or antipathy towards anything, anything. So, and it doesn't have to make sense either. The moment you start dealing with people's emotions and things, you're moving farther and farther away from any rational, intelligent discussion of any kind and any kind of logic or anything. All you really have to do is get people to feel a certain way, and then you've really reduced the debate to something that is not completely, I don't know what the word I'm looking for here, rational, I suppose. But it's very easy to sway people either for or against something if you appeal to their emotions. And so, what we're seeing right now is the media, the news media. What's going to happen is if this bill doesn't fail, this is what I'm really afraid of. I don't support this bill because I want single payer health care. But if this bill does not get passed, what's going to happen is everyone's going to go, oh, well, see, the American people themselves don't want health care. They don't want health care. They don't think health care is important. Yeah, see, the American people, they spoke. They spoke, and they don't like his plan. And it just seems to me that the plan that's been offered to oppose the president's plan, the other plan that was offered, which was by the doctor, like everyone seemed to agree that healthcare reform needed to happen. They didn't agree on the methods. And so the other plan is the plan to have the private insurance company have a bit more influence. That's really the plan. So you really got two plans. You got Obama's plan, which reduces the amount the private insurance gets by this much. I think he said 80 billion, something like that, on Democracy Now. And then there's the plan that the Republicans are going to offer, which is going to reduce it by 20 billion. Okay, maybe 20, maybe 10 billion. Okay, so I mean, I don't support either one of these plans, but clearly the solution, of course, is to move further to the right. And that's what these people want. And it was just terrifying. When I came back home, I talked to a guy who well the guy who I came home to hang out with, and we were talking, and he was like, yeah, you know, he was saw in the news about remote area medical people going to this clinic. They set up this makeshift clinic, and there was people lined up for days because they had never had health care in years. So hearing these horrible stories about a little girl who had to have a toothache for a year before she got health care. I just wish those people would have came to this debate because I would have loved to hear their stories. You know, that would that's what this. Oh, it was awful. It was really awful. Honestly, God, it was awful. But now that you know that it's totally a biased thing, I really think all you guys should go. Everybody who's watching this really should go and get your voice heard on this thing. So at least, even if you get shouted down, just expect to get shouted down. That's just what's gonna happen. I found that's how I have to be as a person now. Is you know, I walk into situations and clearly something's going on that I find is offensive, either against race or against gender or against, you know, class or things like that, and I have to be that guy. I have to be that guy to go, well, I'm not okay with this. This is racist. Or, you know, I'm not okay with this because I think that this is really, you know, sexist and misogynistic, or, you know, this is very homophobic, and I think, you know, I think this is wrong. I have to be the person who walks into these situations and says these things. There's different ways you can do that, but you know, and it's sad when, you know, you see so many people who are just very really fucking ignorant. I don't know. It also makes me think about transferring schools because it scares the crap out of me, honestly. But we'll see, we'll see. I don't know. It really makes me rethink moving back to Canada because I feel like I feel like this is those people really represent what the elite. That's what it really is. That's what I kind of came to see. And even if they don't really have jobs now, they were part of the elite. Those people really represent the elite. And the elite is only interested in whatever works out for their own interests. They're not really thinking about, you know, on one level, if you talk to any average American person, you get them to break down and go, well, everyone should have this. Everyone should have this. We should not have rich people and poor people. Everyone should be taken care of. Before you get to that point, you get to, you know, you basically get to a bunch of people who are only really thinking of their own interests. You know, and not really taking the time out to think of anyone else's interest except their own specific interests. So you are a middle class family, you live in a nice suburb, all you care about is what's best for you. And you know, and people have to be challenged on that. You know, they're not going to think further than that unless they're challenged on it to some degree at least. I guess. I don't know. I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea. But if you're like me, and you knew this thing was happening in your town, you would probably go just to see what happens. And I was expected to get booed down and end up on TV, and I was gonna record the clip and put it on here, but none of that happened, unfortunately. So, oh well. Okay, I'm gonna go to work. I have an office now at LSU. Maybe I'll do a little video clip from my office. It's nothing great yet. But I'm researching a bunch of stuff on gentrification. I'm maybe doing my PhD thesis on gentrification in New Orleans, or resistance to gentrification in New Orleans, which I think is what I have a professor who's working on that. I'm kind of really excited about working on that project with him. So we'll see. Yeah, maybe I'll make a clip from my office. I can talk about that for a little bit.